Hey, I'm Steve Davis, principal of Side Mount Pros and host of the podcast, Speaking Side Mount. What I want to do today is take you through a little overview of this baby, the Dive Xtras Blacktip Tech dive propulsion vehicle. I want to take you through some of the things I love about it, some of the pros and cons if you like, and definitely the reasons that I selected this particular device over some of the other tools that might be available in the market. So let's take a deeper look. Now, if you're in the market for a dive propulsion vehicle, as far as I can tell from the research I've done, devices like the Ccraft are really at the top of the pile in terms of dive propulsion vehicles available in the market right now. I use the Ccraft Ghost in my cave DPV training with Ed Sorensen in Mariana, Florida, and I had the great privilege to use the device again on a few of my dives that I did in Sardinia a couple of years ago. And there's no doubt that the Ccraft is, as I said, right at the very top of the pile. However, it has some drawbacks, and from my point of view, those drawbacks were really important. And the things that are necessary for me here, being based in New Zealand and being a big time international traveler, is that I wanted something that was travel friendly. So that immediately eliminated the Ccraft, because the battery is fitted to the device. While it can be removed, it certainly is not travel friendly, and we'll go into that a little bit more later on. Now, the other devices that I considered was the Dive Xtras Piranha P1, a really nice device. A lot of my friends use it, and it can be used for travel. Now, one of the really interesting aspects of all of Dive Xtras scooters or DPVs is that they use these as their batteries. So a standard DeWalt power tool battery, no different from what you would use on a whole range of different power tools, which means these are readily available. They're not cheap, but by the same token, readily available and easy to get for your scooters. Now, the other awesome thing about these is if you look at the voltage on here, I'm talking travel again now, if you look at the voltage and the amp hours here, 18 times 12 is well over 200 amp hours. And so this battery as it is not suitable for airline travel. However, if I fit this cap to it like so, that now splits the cells into three and separates them electrically, meaning that I now have three cells separated that are 72 watt hours each. So now, theoretically, this is eligible and able to be taken on an aircraft. Now, there's still some gotchas in there because it's very much up to the local authorities at the airport as to whether they'll allow this. And I would highly recommend, based on my experience traveling with batteries before, is that you carry a spec sheet along with this so that they can very clearly see what has been done to this particular battery to make it safe for travel. And so there's still some potential gotchas there, but you're well on your way to being able to travel with this battery with that cell splitter there. So that's a really unique part of this battery, which then makes it great for what we're going to do with this particular DPV. Fitting the batteries, all I need to do is take this top section off here, and then that gives me access to the battery compartment. So I'll do that now. So it's really very simple to do. You can see I've added a few extra clips here for my own use. Once this is loosened, it's really simple to just give it a bit of a wiggle here, and off that top comes. You can see the seals with a double O-ring around this part here. I'm not sure how well we're going to be able to see this, but this is the inside of the actual device, and you can see it's pretty simple there. There's a couple of battery mounts, and we'll have a go at mounting one of the batteries in the top there so you can see how that works. And it's very simply a matter of lining up the battery and sliding it into the slot until it clicks in. And of course there'd be another one underneath here. So very simple in terms of putting the batteries into the device. Once the battery's installed, you're ready to go. And all it takes is a couple of clicks on the button here to register and start to operate. You can see here on the battery indicator, it's showing me how much battery power is available. 4 steps means pretty much full power, and 2 clicks and we're good to go. Removing the batteries is just the opposite of what you did to install them. Just hold the button and pull them out. Really easy to accomplish. So what about performance wise? How does it perform? And I've got the Dive Xtras chart here which shows us through some of the specs on this particular device, and I think they're relevant in one way and I think in another way they're not. I mean, just to be super blunt, compared to the Ccraft, which has a 1.6 meter per second top speed. At 1 meter per second, this is almost half as fast and certainly doesn't have the range. So if you're looking for applications where you're going to be going super deep into caves or you need massively long run times, then this may not be the right tool for you. However, one thing I have noticed absolutely is the more streamlined I am as a diver, the faster I go on my DPV, and that obviously makes a huge amount of sense. So in terms of side mount diving with a DPV, then absolutely the Blacktip, it has a huge amount of speed. Diving it with my Kiss Sidewinder rebreather, I noticed that pretty much anything above 5, and it has speeds ranging from 1 all the way up to 8. Anything above 5 is starting to pull the DSV, the diver supply valve, out of my mouth. I know you can get some chin rests, and I'm going to try that, but I've been running around a lot on just 4 out of 8, so just half speed, and I've found the thing performs amazingly well, and I'm going plenty fast enough for what I want to do, bearing in mind that the diving that I'm doing is on shipwrecks. Yes, I want to take it cave diving in a lot of open water, and a lot of it is just giving me the opportunity to relax and use the DPV to do the work of swimming rather than having to do this. So I'm not necessarily trying to get anywhere fast. The other aspect of that is, of course, I want to see and be seen on the journey as well. So for me, the speed has not been an issue so far. I've done 3 or 4 dives with it where I've been on the trigger for more than an hour, no problem whatsoever. I've done a 2 kilometer plus run on it, again, no problems whatsoever. So I would say that for those divers who are looking for an application where you want a DPV and you want something you can travel with, then this has got to be right near the top of the list. And I haven't even come to the biggest benefit and what was the deal maker for me and the deal breaker for other types of DPV, and that was the price. Now, I've got to be honest, I had a certain amount that I wanted to invest in a DPV. I was prepared to invest in the right tool. But when you look at scooters and DPVs like the Ccraft, you're going to be investing a significant amount of money, somewhere in the 8 to 12,000 US dollars. When I look at the P1, which was the other DPV that I seriously considered, from Dive Xtras, you're going to be looking at 5,000 US. And when you think that this Blacktip Tech comes in at 1,700, I'll say it again, 1,750 US dollars, then it's, for me, pretty much a must buy. Performs well underwater, is incredibly quiet, fast enough for what I want to do, has the duration and range for the dives that I want to do. And so therefore, I think it's a really good buy under those circumstances. But now, if a 2-hour runtime and traveling at speeds of around 45 meters per minute for an overall range of over 5,000 meters is not enough for you, then there are some other options. And one of the great things about the Dive Xtras Blacktip range is it very much is a range of scooters. You've got the travel at the lower end, the tech at the middle, and then at the upper end, you've got the exploration. And to upgrade from one to another, it's simply a matter of buying the tube kit. So I can upgrade my Blacktip Tech from its 2-hour runtime by adding on the exploration tube kit, add 2 more batteries. So obviously I've got some more costs there on top of the tube kit, but this now gives me double the range, so up to 10 kilometer range and 4 hours of runtime from pretty much the same device. So I think it's really extraordinary that Blacktip is offering a modular system with their scooters. And so that really does bring this, again, right to the very top of my list in terms of travel. Of course, if you need more nav or you need more than 4 hours runtime, more than 10 Ks in range, then you might want to consider one of the other scooters that does have that sort of range. But for me, the modular nature of it, the price, and of course the performance of this unit, even though it's really simple, really made it a must buy for me, and I'm very, very happy with what I've got. If you've got some questions about the Blacktip or some questions from what I've covered today, please drop me a comment below. I'd love to hear what you think. Thanks again for watching this video. I'm Steve Davis of Side Mount Pros, host of the podcast Speaking Side Mount. I'll catch you in the next video.